What's in your CBD? A lot of locals use it for health but don't want the high. A county commissioner is bringing to light growing concerns nationwide. CBD popping up on shelves with unwanted compounds.
A lot of seniors use it. We want to make sure that it has what it's supposed to.
Commissioner Marilyn Kirkpatrick is on the board of the Southern Nevada Health District. She says there's a growing worry from health officials nationwide. In CBD sold on shelves, regulators are discovering new compounds, even though the label says there is no THC. Those compounds may make you high, sick, or have unknown side effects.
Parts of the country are struggling. I just don't want to lose sight of it.
Kirkpatrick's hoping from the county to the state more can be done to regulate CBD. That's sold plenty of places. Many people now use it for ailments like anxiety, insomnia, pain, and arthritis, but don't want a high or don't want to fail a drug test. Still, some manufacturers develop and infuse CBD with potent synthetic cannabinoids like Delta-8 and Delta-10, which can get you high. In 2020, the Nevada legislature made it illegal to sell those substances without approval from the Cannabis Compliance Board. Agency officials say only in Nevada dispensaries. You know exactly what you're buying. CBD comes with a certificate of analysis.
We don't regulate any of those CBD shops or the products that you might find at a gas station or a strip mall. We do get a lot of reports from the public stating that they consumed something that had synthetic cannabinoids in them, and it made them feel very ill.
The CCB's chief of inspections and audits says when consumers report a sketchy product at one of those stores, they work with local business licensing officials to stop the sales.
But they don't even know that what they have in their store is illegal in Nevada.
Kara Cronkite also says though more people do buy CBD online, those unwanted products often have unwanted or illegal substances.
You have the unknown byproducts. That comes with unknown risk. Because when you buy those products online, or if there's no laboratory that's tested the products, you really don't know what you're getting.
And Kirkpatrick says Clark County business license officials are working with the state to see what else can be done or if a new state law should be passed. She and the CCB say the recommendation is always buy your CBD from a dispensary where your product is tested and vetted.